Welcome to another episode of Water and Ice Outdoors. Today, I'm in southwestern Wisconsin in the Driftless targeting brown trout. And by now you've probably noticed that I am doing a voiceover for this episode. I apologize, but my audio files got corrupted somehow. I have no idea how. I'm going to try and play only some mildly obnoxious background music, and I will talk you through this video. And I'll link some videos above that are trout videos from the past, and they have better audio, the actual original audio, and you can check those out if you want. But today I wanted to bring you this footage anyways because I had a great time fishing brown trout and we caught some numbers. It's an incredible fishery, and if you've never done it before, you've got to check it out. Super easy to access. Just find a bridge, hop in the river there, and as long as you're in the water, you're safe, you're legal. Alright guys, first spot, first cast, literally just walked into the river, and boom. First fish on. I'll tell you right now, it's an absolute giant. Just kidding. It's a complete baby. But we foul hooked it, so we're gonna get it released here, get that trouble out of it real quick, and beautiful little fish. But we want to get this one back. It's fairly cold out this day, so we want to get it back and released quickly. But nice, pretty little fish, and always fun on your first cast to catch a fish. Now we're going to move to a spot downstream, and this is kind of what I like to use when I'm fishing really any river, any trout. I use an inline spinner, and the exact one that I use is a Panther Martin, which you'll see here, black and yellow with a gold blade. And I use either the 2 or the 4, and depending on how big the trout are that I'm catching, if they're bigger, I'll use the 4. If they're smaller, I'll use the size 2. And the spots that I like to fish, I like finding the deeper pools in these streams and rivers. And as you see here, I cast it out, I let the lure fall to the bottom, and then I slow retrieve it back, just fast enough to get that spinner spinning. And when you slow roll it along the bottom, you bounce it off the rocks, it deflects, it acts a little erratic, and that triggers those trout to strike. A lot of times you'll find schools of these fish sitting in these deep pools, so really all you have to do is get them to bite, and once they start being triggered, usually you'll get multiple fish, because if they're there, a lot of times, especially early spring like it is today, they're pretty aggressive. So again, we're casting out to this deeper pool just to my right here, and I'm bringing it back, and right as it gets to the upstream side of that deep pool is when I get a nice strike right here. Guys, if you've never trout fished before, these fish fight so hard for their size. They just go absolutely nuts. It's just a blast. And this is a little nicer fish. It's probably in that 9 to 10 inch range. And I'd say the average size trout for this river is probably in the 10 to 12 inch range. There's some bigger ones pushing that 15, 18. I've heard rumors of 20 inch trout in this river, but most of the times you're going to catch them in that 10 to 15 inch range. And here I'm just trying to find a good place to release this fish. As you can see, I had that ice shelf. I didn't want to throw it. Obviously, trout are somewhat sensitive fish, and you also want to get your hands wet before you touch these fish as well, because you want to preserve the slime coat that's on their skin. I actually don't know, I don't think I did that on this fish actually, but the next few I do. So it's It's a good thing to do because we want to preserve these fish. All right, so again, we've just cast it out into that deep pool. We're bringing it over that upstream side of the pool, and boom, fish on again. There's definitely a school of fish down there sitting in that pool right on the front edge of it, waiting for bait fish and other prey to, get pushed down by the current right over that ridge. And they were sitting there just ready to ambush. Just about every cast I made in this spot got either bumped or hit or had a strike with it, and we caught many of those fish. And this isn't edited footage. This fish that you just saw and this next catch are unedited. That's just how good this spot was. So I cast out again, falls down to the bottom, slow retrieve, and right as it gets to that front edge, you know what's going to happen. It's like clockwork. They're so aggressive this time of year, and that one actually got the quick release right back into the water. Fish was unharmed. Right back to the next cast. I'm using a medium light, basically a panfish rod. And it's just easy for me to pack, easy for me to walk with and wade with. So that's what I like to use. Some people might use a little heavier rod, maybe a medium. But I think fighting these fish on a medium light rod or light rod is really fun. They fight so hard anyways, as you can see. But just having it on a light action rod makes it even more fun. You really get to fight the fish. And this fish was probably my best of the day. Maybe a 11 incher. Again, about the average size for this river. But I'm just happy to be catching fish. Just a beautiful fish. The fish in this river have just awesome colors. And, we didn't catch any huge ones today, but it was just a blast. That's going to do it for this video. I apologize again for the audio, but I really enjoyed this fishing trip and wanted to share it with you guys. Check it out in southwest Wisconsin, guys. It's a beautiful area, a great fishery, and really easy to access. So I'm going to link some other videos that I've done in this area, and click on those if you like them. Otherwise, please hit that subscribe button if you enjoy what I'm doing here. And as always, we'll see you next time on Water and Ice Outdoors.